Yeah, I bought all the supplies that shit town had, so. Yeah, Ivan's an idiot. I don't like him, so he's just gonna have to tag along with us. A well-tended farm with plenty of livestock draws the caravan's attention. Upon your arrival, the farmer and his workers stand defensive within plain sight, crude weapons at the ready. Their crossed arms make their thoughts clear without a word. How do I murder them? I'm just gonna leave them alone. I'm gonna not... I don't want this encounter. Fuck off. What's his is his, you say to the caravan. No sense trying to fighting those trying to protect themselves. I refuse to engage. My blinders are on. I'm like, no. I have to get to town. Leave me alone. Stop interrupting me. As you're about to head off to sleep for the night, Onuf pulls you aside. I have a couple of concerns I wanted to speak to you about in private. What's on your mind? How well do you know the people traveling with us? How many strangers are in the caravan now? You? Who are you worried about? I've been watching folks since I joined you. Your companions from Skoger, they're loyal. I mean, it seems pretty clear they died to protect you. I suppose I'd do the same. What about the Varl? You don't even know half those warriors. You're telling me they have no problem following a man's orders now. After everything that happened at Einertoft. I trust Ivor to handle it. He's fearless, I'll give you that, but look at him, he's run ragged. Can't be there all the time. What happens the first time the Varl don't do what you tell them to? If Krumer gave the word, I guarantee at least half would follow. Let's be honest, they could take this caravan by force any time if they wanted. What do you suggest? I suggest growing some balls instead of hoping it all works out, Rook. They're not the biggest problem, though. There's a mender with us. A mender... Fuck this guy! A mender who pulls... He's trying to create dissent. A mender who pulls lightning out of the sky and tells us what to do and where to go. Myself, I think we lucked out when his mentor didn't show up in Sigerholm. Ivan's just the apprentice. What depths is his master capable of? Think about it, Rook. What do you really know about Ivan? Loki Liesmith, get the fuck out. I conjure you, devil. I heard they were found practically dead in the middle of nowhere when the Dredge started showing up. Then an enormous serpent shows up at Einertoft after tearing the world in half, takes one look at Ivan and bolts. Suddenly they need our help instead of the Mender Council? How does that make any damn sense? The power of Christ compels you. Ivan could have taken control a long time ago. No, you might be distorting what happened. Or Ivan might be. I'm grateful for what you've done to get us this far, Rook. But it's always been about trust. I think it's time to part ways, so to speak. Nothing personal. Suddenly, you gasp for air. When you look down, Onuf is holding a knife buried deep in your ribs. What a piece of shit. Cool, you die. Game over. Your vision blurs and blood fills your sight. You gasp again. There's a bird whistle and the camp becomes a blur of motion. Onuf's fighters from Frostvetler leap into action, cutting people down. As Oddleaf turns to fire on the men, Onuf runs her through. Pulls the blade from her back without even breaking stride. She drops like a sack of flour. In one clean motion, his blade then takes Egil in the throat before the boy can grab his shield. Onuf heads straight for Alette, who freezes in terror, and she dies, and everybody dies, and what's the fucking point? Onuf clutches Alette's wrist amidst the commotion, tosses her bow aside, and pulls her into the deep woods. Her eyes meet yours across the campsite. No, her lips say that you can't hear the words. A dozen men appear between you as Ivor steps into view, fearsome as you've ever seen him. Cool, you just like lose half your characters. So I guess the thing is, don't ever trust anyone. Fuck everybody. Never do any of this stuff. Like, that's dumb. Or maybe I just know better. I'm gonna play Banner Saga 2 very differently. Mogan. Okay. It's like nothing good nothing good happens, but only bad things happen. So you should avoid ever letting anybody join your team, or the benefits are never as significant as the penalties. It seems so imbalanced. Also, where's the fucking, can I like let the prisoner guy loose and he helps me fight? Because I thought they were like enemies and shit, so I don't know, whatever. To be fair, you avoided all the really good stuff. See, that's bullshit though. Like, the game is teaching me not to engage with it. I'm not, like, again, I'm not having fun. Like, it's just the way the game is designed is not how I would have done it myself. Right, yeah. If you let Echo free, he probably chops both your arms off and pees in the wound. So, like, it seems like every decision leads to something bad, which is like a really weird... Yeah, I don't know. It's very... It has some ideas about what it should or shouldn't, like, let us figure out. But it just, yeah, it just feels like you're screwed at every turn. I'm okay with them killing characters. That's fine. I'm okay with them killing a bunch of characters. But, like, Ekil is chill is a lie, because the game gives you all these reasons not to trust him, right? Like, he can turn out to be cool, but there's no reason to trust him when even the good guys go bad very quickly, right? I believe that game design teaches you how to play the game. And so I'm learning never trust anyone, never help anyone, because the risk is never worth it. Like, ever. Because so far it certainly hasn't been. Who can I contribute to? I guess I could damage this guy down again. Oh, but he's all... Okay, we'll get her. Yeah, it's just, it's an inelegant way of foreshadowing danger or setting stakes. It does really feel like a bad, like an unpracticed Apocalypse World game master. Like, where it's just like, I'm just gonna make hard moves all the time. Like, even if you haven't failed a roll, just like, no, bad things happen and you can't do anything about it. It's a foregone conclusion that the bad thing has already happened. I gotta start using his, like, initiative order bump. Okay, kill that archer. Kill her. The game's not, it's not that it's too lifelike. And, like, it's cool. Like, again, the game that I would compare that stuff to is, like, I said it before, this War of Mine. This War of Mine is full of, like, really bad choices where, like, everything is, like, a little bad, but you know that going in, and you know what's happening, right? It's kind of like, okay, like, this is the kind of game this is. But this game doesn't strike me as having done a very good job letting me know that that's the kind of game that it is, because the story is still kind of a, like, save the world story. Yeah, it's like, here's a really big deal thing that's going to deeply impact gameplay, but it's not, you have no warning, you can't really do anything about it. Yeah, it just feels like, yeah. Super curious to see how the second game is by comparison. Yeah, like, I'm okay when bad stuff happens, even, like, surprising bad stuff. I'm not even fundamentally that upset about this particular thing. I just feel like often we're being taught, like, I'm being taught to avoid the game's content. Like, I don't trust the game anymore. And that's bad. You don't ever want to be in a position where you don't trust the designer of the game. Oh, I should have just used his ability to give a faster turn to Spinny Sword Boy. The thing is, they're not random, right? Like when you say it's 50-50 random, like good and bad, it's really not. Like it's being punished for things that you would expect to be rewarded for, and being like misled about what's going to happen. It's like there's a button on the wall, and the button on the wall says fire alarm, and you press it and you get leprosy. It's like, okay, maybe if you had warned me that like I couldn't trust the labeling in this building, or if I could like you kind of have to let players know that there is a chance that something weird will happen. And if your game is like okay, well, you can't understand or know the outcome of anything. Everything is chaos. Cool, but you can't learn from that. And so your decisions don't matter. So at this point, what I should do is I should just roll a die and stop trying to make decisions. I should just pick whatever, like a random thing, because it's 50-50 whether I get screwed. And it really does remind me of old school D&D adventures, right? Where you're like, I don't know, cool, there's like a hut. And if you open the door, maybe the hut is full of gold and potions, but maybe if you open the door, 1 out of every 3 members of your party dies instantly, no save. Yeah, it's not... There's a lot of really good stuff in the game, but there's also this really kind of like weird, like frustrating design stuff that feels... I don't know, yeah, it feels like troubling. It makes you, exactly. And so Chrome, that's exactly what happens. So when you're playing those adventures, you just never engage. Don't go in the hut, because the chance that it will ever be a potion never outweighs the likelihood you'll die instantly. The penalty is always worse. So what I really need to do, if I'm learning from the game's structures, is never engage with anything. Never get anybody in your party. Only buy supplies at the houses, level up, play the game, but I can't trust the game's text anymore. So all I have to do is just nothing. Avoid all encounters. Just go straight for the goal. Because I can't trust the text anymore. Where's Alette? Shouts Ivor, tearing through the nearest bandit. But you're already hobbling into the deep woods where they disappeared, ignoring the battle raging behind you. In a haze of pain, you start to think you've lost their tracks. Then you hear Alette screaming in the distance, followed by silence. You tear through the trees. In a small clearing, Alette lies on her back against a tree. Her hands and her clothes are covered in blood. She stares ahead vacantly, unblinking. Beside her is the body of Onuf, an arrow buried in his right eye as if placed there by hand. She looks in your direction, then at Onuf. I killed him, she says. Fucking good, finally. Alette, are you all right? You cringe as much from the pain as the appearance of Alette after her bloody struggle with Onuf. No, I'm not hurt. I had no choice. Dad, your chest. You're bleeding. Suddenly, she's at your side, putting pressure on the wound. I can fix this. Where's my needle? Oddleaf. Anyone. Oddleaf's dead. Ivor, I found them. Just as your sight goes black, you see Ivor, Ivor, and Alette standing over you. Oh yeah, Malcontender, it's... I can see where it might be intentional, but it doesn't feel executed well enough to be on purpose. Like, I definitely think you can make a game that creates a sense of dread, urgency, and hopelessness, but this game is not doing that well, if that's its intent. Yeah. Compare and contrast with, again, this war of ours. That's what it's called, or this war of mine. That game is excellent at that hopelessness, dread, bad choices. Yeah, this war of mine. Yeah. That game does that thing you're describing very, very well. He's going to make it. Your eyes open to the sound of Alette's voice. Normally, a wound like that, I only hope I did enough. I'll survive. I'm the protagonist. Dad! Alette stops herself from hugging your bandaged chest. Pulling your head to her instead, the words come out easier than you expected. Oddleaf? It's a good thing Ivan was here. She's going to pull through, though it was a nasty wound. We managed to kill most of those traitorous sons of bitches, and the rest fled to the woods. There were a lot of people I couldn't save. You did everything you could, Ivan. Nobody expects you to raise the dead. I do. Raise the dead, please. Ivan frowns deeply, putting a hand to his forehead. Why did Onuf do this, Rook? He was talking to you right before it happened. He'd been planning it all along. I think that much is clear. Ekil killed a good half dozen of Onuf's men by himself. He told me Onuf was running Frostvedler the whole time. He left Frostvedler behind when he saw a great opportunity. Guess that relationship's over. Ekil was always the barking dog you put in the yard to find out who your enemies are. It was no accident Onuf went after those of us from Skogar. He must have thought with us gone he'd take the banner and the rest would fall in line. Or at worst, they'd take the supplies for themselves and leave the rest as dredge bait. We have to be more careful. We can't let anyone join the caravan anymore. We'll be more cautious. None of this changes the fact that Bellower is out there somewhere, following us. That swamp around Sigerholm might buy us some time, but we've got to keep moving. You're damn right. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, so there you go. The game laid it out. Like, this is what you should have known with him the first time. Be more careful. Well, again, the game isn't necessarily laying it out. Like, a character saying something isn't the game saying it. I don't have any fucking supplies, so... Yeah, nobody cares that Egil died. Poor Egil. Egil July. Yeah, there's an achievement to keep him alive. Ah, fuck him. Look who it is. Still not dead. How are things, Rook? I can never guess with you, Ekil. I heard you helped drive off the traitors when Onuf attacked us. That leaves me wondering, what's your deal? I'm not so hard to understand. Why don't you try asking instead of telling? We could use a good fighter. Yeah, and he's just gonna betray me. Could have killed a lot more of them without my hands bound, if that's what you mean. So, Rook, I don't have to be your prisoner anymore? You gonna let me walk around with my own axe and everything? Doesn't mean I'm not watching you. I can accept that. You're a good man. I need to go. I need to take a piss. You're not the only busy man around here, you know. Hey, are you okay? How's the wound? You notice Oddleaf wince as she rises to greet you. I look exactly the same as I always do. When I saw it happen, I thought for sure. Ah, well. I'm really glad you're... Would have missed me, Rook? Without Ivan, that's all you could have done. Instead, you'll have to put up with my crap a little longer. It still aches like you wouldn't believe, though. Or maybe you would. Heard you took a stabbing yourself. I guess things could have gone worse. I'll let you get some rest. I don't feel like yapping with these people. You know, you're welcome to keep me company. What? When I'm a little more awake. I mean, I'll talk to you later. Isn't her husband still alive? What? Damn, girl. Time to turn over a new leaf. I get it, because in sex, it's a... You notice most of the Varl pacing while others sleep. Their brief conversations with each other and other clansmen grow shorter and sharper. Go away, roars one Varl at a young girl asking him too many questions. All the clansmen stop and stare. Send the Varl ahead in the caravan to put some space between you. We could all use a bit of space to stretch. Why don't you and the other Varl take the lead? Set the pace. We'll follow. He looks at you and nods, appreciating the graceful compromise. The giant explains, we live in the north for its space, endless miles of snow, ice, mountains, fields, space to be alone. But here there's no time for such things. Understanding slowly trickles through the caravan, relieving some of the tension. Morale improved, then everyone starved. Morale improved. Then morale stabs you in the back. Egil comes back from the dead. Kills everybody. And then Alette kills you. But then you're not actually dead. But then Ivor betrays you. The villagers here are completely oblivious to the destruction that is coming. All we've seen is some dark figures far off, they tell you. Aside from a few young families, they're reluctant to pick up their things and join you. I don't care. I don't want them with me. Get out of here, nerd. Yeah, turns out you stab yourself in the eye. Like, is there any reason not to just buy everything? What's up, Chilean Monkey? The stuff from Lush. Whatever that is. You probably don't need that many, but how do I know? I've almost starved like a ton of fucking times. Maybe I'll level first. I don't know. God. I don't know how this shit works. What is this? What are you doing, Alette? Succeeding you, father. Twang! Yeah, Frostmourne, it's like a bow. And then the supplies stab you in the back. They're a backstabbing supply golem. Alright, let's level up Rook to level 5. I don't know. I can only level safe characters now. Let's level Ivor. I like Ivor. Ivor's a good boy. We almost lost him once. The game wouldn't dare do it twice. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Alright, I'm gonna go buy all the supplies now. Great, 4 days. Fuck, let's go. No. Yeah, half an hour, Ivor's dead. Gone. Toast. The caravan consists of more clansmen than you ever expected. Accusations of stolen chicken, missing heirlooms, and concerns over daughters' virtues are the sort of thing you hear relentlessly. Even fighters complain of spreading too thin to protect everyone. I don't fucking know. Keep people useful and too busy for squabbles. Firewood collection, scouting, gathering of edibles, weapon training, and wagon repair keep your clansmen busy and too tired to complain. The chores slow the caravan, but the peace and productivity feels worth it. Damn right, supplies. Okay, we're neutral face again. Here we go. Harsh words from one mother to another draw the attention of the entire caravan. My daughter marries Ragni or no one. That reed-thin tramp you call a daughter won't provide sons. The insulted mother bares her teeth, ready to attack. You gotta keep them separated. There's no time for this, you say, and signal to another man. The two women are moved to opposite sides of the camp. And then you cut the husband in half and they can both have half of them. Boom. Solomon. I'm a great king guy, okay? You find a fork in the road. It attacks you. You all die. Ooh, look at this metal-looking dude. The imposing godstone of Bjorulf approaches. His severe visage makes it feel like he's watching you even now. The caravan spreads out, happy to be free of the confining forests and in open fields. In fact, in honor of Bjorulf, some of the caravan crack kegs of mead and wine before anyone can stop them. To the only god that matters, they shout. Everyone has drinks and you're glad for the merriment that has swept over the caravan. Let's inspect the godstone. You look up at the godstone, Bjorulf's head surrounded by images of casks and drinking horns. Though he's always depicted as being stern, Bjorulf was one of the most popular gods of men in Varl, the one who taught them how to brew. It seems like more than coincidence that the long fields around Bjorulf's stone have always been excellent for growing anything you can need for a good drink. Let's get drunk, cause fuck it. You accept the mead being offered to you and settle in to enjoy one of the few times you felt good since leaving Skogar. Somehow, despite everything that's happened to you, you're able to let go for a short while. Unfortunately, you die of alcohol poisoning. As the hour becomes late, the caravan is eventually ready to get back on the road. By the day by Bjorulf's stone is one of the few memories that hasn't been tarnished by the specter of bad fortune, you think to yourself. Then you die. You find a sad kitten on the road. The kitten is sitting on a sign that says, "Nothing wrong with this kitten. Kitten needs help." You save the kitten. Turns out that it's a dragon and it bites off your dick. Later, you find a horrible dragon on the road, chewing on a pile of corpses. You fight the dragon, and you defeat him. But in dying, he bites off your dick. A woman's stifled screams failed to overly concern anyone. It was only a matter of time before the expectant mother gave birth. Eat the baby! The caravan is simply excited about this first sign of new life since the trip began. Do nothing special. With all the congratulations passing around, you decide to maintain a normal schedule, letting the family adjust to the new hardships of traveling with an infant as quickly and peacefully as possible. Why do we get 5 renown for that?
Reykjavik is more of
A baby saga.
Houses than a proper town. Though judging by stray Dredge stalking through empty fields, it is barely even that anymore.
Reykjavik? Reykjavik comes and goes as a long series of farmhouses. Abandoned, long town. Abandoned and crawling with Dredge. The farmers have probably already fled to Bursgard. You try to hurry past, but are eventually spotted. Dredge start ambling in your direction. What's that? Points out Oddleaf. Up near one of the longhouses. In the distance, a large person, clothes seemingly covered in blood, is cursing loudly and stumbling about. He staggers into a longhouse, laughing. The Dredge, heading your direction, turn back, roaring, and begin to pound on the door. Seem to be holding a grudge against this person. You doubt the door will hold on long. Leave quickly while your luck holds. Whoever that was just bought us an escape. Rip that guy. See you later. No, see, the game is not teaching me to take risks. Now, I get to keep my supplies. There's no chance anyone will stab me in the back, and we move on. Problem solved. Leave that guy to his own problems. I have no reason to stop and save him, because he could turn out to kill my characters later. So, there's no reason. I'm totally discouraged from engaging in these, because the risk is not worth it. But it's not trying, though, right? Like, every time the game gets me to do something and I get fucked for it, it's one more reason to never do anything. A mother screams, flood the caravan. Her daughter lies dead in a tent. We all know who did this, she spits, staring directly at the woman she scuffled with previously. Kill them both. Murder over marriage in these times? Something must be done. Yeah. Investigate the death. A healer joins you in inspecting the young girl's corpse. An old infection. No punctures, no choking, no poison. She died of disease. You report the news to the caravan. The mother admits she'd always known her daughter was ill, and everyone just moves on. What? Okay. Oh, an honest mistake. You always knew when you accused someone else. Oh, hold on. Sad morale. A flurry of snowfall seems to come out of nowhere and quickly thickens until you're unable to see the man in front of you. You shout out a complete halt, but the screaming winds drown out the sound. A day passes before the blizzard abates, and clansmen start to reappear from the snowdrifts. It quickly becomes apparent that not everybody's where you last saw them, and a quick search of the area is not enough to recover all the missing clansmen. Move on, saying a blessing for the lost. As the caravan prepares to move, a woman shouts, "No! They're out there! If you won't look, I will!" She heads off into the snow. Others join her, but the vast majority gather and move on. I mean, less mouths to feed, right? Oh, hold on, we haven't done this face yet. This is a really sad face. Oh.
Steep cliffs, the sprawl of Boersgard comes into view. A city of contrasting rich and poor, opportunity and gamble. Our best hope for salvation, or our graves.
I mean, this is like the longest journey the game has given us so far, right? All right. Okay. I want to do the thing. No, stop. Stop, game. All right. We're going to stop here. I have suffered enough. The saltiness has reached ultimate salt levels. I'm actually not all that salty. I do want to stop here though, because I want to pick up for the next time the beginning of a chapter. I was waiting for a chapter to end. Man, fascinating. So it's the last town. Yeah, right. We're right near the end. So I don't have time to finish it today because I don't know how many hours, but we'll finish it on the next stream for sure. We might finish it and then start the next one. No, I've gotta go. I have other things I have to do today, like drive to Seattle. So I can't just like commit and keep playing. But what we'll do is I'll get ready to start Banner Saga 2, and we might like end this one and then start the next one. Or we'll end it and we'll play something else. We'll do some Slay the Spire. Yeah, don't worry. We'll finish it and then do the thing. But yeah, like what a fucking fascinating design. So here's the thing, like I know that it seemed like I will acknowledge that I do not experience gameplay the same way everybody else does. I am definitely okay admitting and owning up to, if you are watching me play a game, the things that irk me or the things that confuse me or the things that make me like, honestly, the things I enjoy in games aren't always the same that I think most people engage with. I'm constantly trying to like, for me, games are a way to get at the mind of the designer. I want to know what the designer wants me to do and think and feel rather than just experiencing the game. And some people, like I'm not unique in that, but for me, that's why I play games, which is why playing a game like this makes me frustrated in the places that it makes me frustrated and excited in the way that it makes me excited, right? Like I'm trying to approach the game holistically and like some things for what they are, and then also like acknowledge the fucked up stuff as being like weird quirks of design. I'm actually having a really fun time playing this, despite the fact that I fucking hate some of the decisions that have gotten made about the way the game goes. I also acknowledge that like there's bits and pieces I probably could have avoided, but I feel like ultimately the decisions that I'm making have nothing to do with the information that I'm given about those decisions. The things the game is flagging and the things the game does to me so often just don't match. So I have a new strategy, which is don't engage. So I'm really curious about what that strategy will look like. Yeah, I play games to puzzle them out. I've noticed a lot of feedback on previous playthroughs, especially if you've watched either live or on YouTube. If you watch my playthrough of Detroit Become Human, so many people are commenting like, why is Adam playing this? Why does he hate this game so much? Why didn't he just stop? Like, is there any game Adam enjoys that he played that I could watch? And if you want to watch someone play a game just to have fun, yeah, why does Adam hate Dungeons and Dragons? If you want to watch someone play a game just to have a fun time, I'm probably not the right person to watch. When I love a game, I love it to death, but I also will happily pick it apart. And that's how I engage with games, right? Criticism, understanding, recognizing that nothing's perfect. So I'm having a really fun time with the Banner Saga because the good stuff is really good and the bad stuff is interesting. And that's what matters to me, is that the whole thing is an interesting experience. I don't look at playing games as being like fun or bad. That's not where I don't play games to have fun, I guess. I don't seek out fun in games. Is that weird? Makes you feel like I'm a miserable person. I don't like fun. Fun is not interesting to me. I want a game to like show me something cool. I want games to be like, this is something you haven't seen before. This is like a neat thing. And that's fun, but it's not the game being fun. Anyway, I'm enjoying the Banner Saga. Super looking forward to finishing it. Really excited to play Banner Saga 2 and 3. We will stick it out. I just kind of wanted to take a minute at the end of this bit just to like talk to you about like, don't worry on my behalf, right? Don't be like, oh, Adam's not having fun. Adam's having a bad time. Even games whose design is not elegant or what I would consider like good based on my parameters, can still be super fun to play by accident or for me on purpose. I seek out games that are interesting. So yeah, that's my thought. There's just my spiel on it. Thanks for coming, everybody. We'll pick up Banner Saga again next time.